from the Qur'an, but the interpretation I want to give is how how I want to explain to humanity the details that clouds that you see on the horizon, clouds that bring rain, or what the clouds that appear on the horizon, those are eternal living words of Allah. You see, the Quran is an eternal living book. It has an eternal living book, apart from the one which men carry as human beings. The texture, the one which are carried by men. But the Quran is an eternal holy book. It has an eternal holy living book that was embroidered over this planet Earth as a blanket that gives life to everything on Earth. So what you always see on the horizons, east to west, north to south, and over in the canopy as clouds, those are eternal living holy words of Allah. Those are eternal living words of Allah, and those are the eternal living words, and those are the words which are found in the holy book of the Quran. We, the Muslims, that we were given to follow or to follow, we follow the Quran, which was lowered from high above from the canopy to and it was kind of put in a texture in a texture work that we are able to read these letters. Otherwise, if it were clouds, we couldn't be able to understand the clouds because of the magnitude of their sizes. But clouds, every cloud that you look at on the horizon or above you in the sky or in the canopy, that is a living word or a living letter of the holy book of Allah, the Holy Quran. What you see on the horizon every day, those are eternal living words of Allah. So Allah, being so generous and very loving to human beings, he took it from he lowered it in the hands and the hearts of men when he sent it to Muhammad through Jibril, through Malaika Jibril, or through Angel Jibril, that Jibril told Muhammad or delivered the message to Muhammad of the details of the information that the message that Allah wanted us to know at that time. The information was given to Muhammad, and the Quran is a complete book. But the version of the Quran that we have in the world, or which we read as human beings, is a Quran that it's spiritual and theoretical. It's spiritual and theoretical according to the human size of human beings, but the original Quran I would say the original, or which is above on the horizon and over us in the canopy, that Holy Quran is very complete, and its weight is very, 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 very powerful and very, very strong. A single letter of the Quran, or a single letter of the book of Allah, the eternal living book of Allah, is capable of delivering rain to human beings for over a radius of miles and miles, just a single letter of the book of Allah, because those letters of Allah, the words of Allah, are eternal. The reason why I'm explaining this is to show that to show human beings what I'm saying that has proof and evidence. If you look at the horizon, you will notice that clouds assemble in straight lines, or columns. Clouds assemble on the horizon in columns, and those columns in Islam we call them those columns are the writings of the writings and the ayahs. We call them ayahs and surahs. Those writings are in the of clouds on the horizon, represent or are present, are always present on the horizon as living, eternal living ayahs, eternal living surahs, eternal living attributes of the most holy glorified Allah, because Allah has attributes, has names that on some of those names we as human beings we are not given a chance to know them, but only angels know them. And it's the holy book of Allah, the holy eternal living book of Allah, that appears or he raises or sends every day on the horizon to bring rain to human being. And times if the sun is so hot, he brings a shade over you to protect you from the wrath or the harshness of the heat or of the sun. So this, I'm explaining this so that human beings should know that the clouds that you see on the horizon, those are eternal living words of the eternal living book of Allah, the Holy Qur'an. The Holy Qur'an was Allah, He who created us, reduced its weight because the original Quran is so heavy, is so powerful, is so heavy that Allah had to reduce it according to the size of human beings, to the size of human beings. That's why He sent Jibril, He sent Malaika, He sent an angel to bring the reduced or the sizes that could fit in our in a human being consumption, on the level of a human being consumption, which is that the letters of those words or the letters of the words of Allah were reduced in size and made into a theoretical structure, which we read in the Holy Quran textual Holy Book of Allah. We read it. It in the Arabic characters form. Again, if you look at the horizon, when you look at the horizon, you will notice that clouds, when they are in lines, they are broken up. So some of them are broken up, and the language in which they appear on the horizon is an angelic language. It's an angelic language, but very, very similar to Arabic. An angelic or Quranic language, very, very similar to Arabic. So the difference between Arabic and the Quranic or the original Quranic or angelic language, the difference is very, very little, because that's how Allah delivered it to human beings through the Arabic characters. He compiled whatever message, everything that He wanted us to know, and He sent it with a reference that if you don't doubt the message that was given to Muhammad. The reason why you should not doubt the message that was given to Muhammad, because it has a reference on the horizon, a reference or references on the horizon, which those references are exhibited, are present all the time, day and night, east to west, north to south, and over us in the canopy. Those columns or straight lines of columns or clouds you look at on the horizon or in the over the canopy or over the on the horizon, those are eternal living words of the eternal living Holy Quran, the book of Allah. That is a book of Allah, the eternal living book of Allah that sustains. Allah gave it, embroidered it over the earth as a blanket of life, as a blanket of life that gives mankind sustains or to sustain mankind and to give life to whatever creatures that resides on earth. The Holy Quran is eternal and living. Is an eternal living book or an eternal living book. Is eternal and living, and being an eternal and living, the evidence you can, if you doubt this, what I'm saying, you can get a book, a Holy Quran, which is written in Arabic, and open any surah of the Quran, and lift your eyes and look at the horizon. You will notice that clouds are assembled or are displayed on the horizons in a texture, Arabic or texture display structure, a texture Arabic display structure. Those are surahs of the Quran, ayahs of the Quran, and that's what makes up the Holy Quran. So the Holy Quran, if you take your eyes off the horizon from the clouds and then bring back your eyes into the Quran which you've opened in your hands, you will notice that the lines of the wordings of the clouds, or the lines of the wording of the clouds, are very, very similar to the wording or the Arabic writings of the surah that you've opened. They are they are corresponding. So that's evidence that this holy eternal book of Allah is indeed what Allah displays on the horizon every day, from east to west, north to south, and over us in the canopy. That it's the book of Allah that Allah releases from the heavens to bring rain, or to bring rain to earth. It's His surahs, attributes, holy attributes, ayahs. Those ayahs, Allah gathers them and releases them as water to quench the thirst of men. I repeat again that the clouds you look at every day on the horizon, those are eternal living words of the Holy Quran, the eternal living words of the Holy Quran. The Holy Quran is an eternal living book. Allah has an eternal living book that from it He chose, and he chose to send a message through to take that message and give it to an angel Jibril, and then Jibril delivered it to Muhammad, and that's the Quran that human beings, or what the Muslims follow. It has divine laws. It has divine laws, divine cautions, divine rules, and it's a guidance to humanity to live in harmony with everyone or everything that is on earth. We were created to share and live in harmony. Human beings, we are. It's a must that we should obey Allah, and also we should always follow the divine directives that governs the human body and governs the directs us and governs us to live in harmony without killing each other, without harming our parents, without harming our children, without harming anybody, that lives on earth, because we are all one creation, and that creation is a creation of human beings. Regardless of your color, you are a human, and regardless of your place where you come from, you are human. So you should share this planet or this place or earth, as Allah says on the horizons. He brings rain in a form of water that you all drink it to survive, to be happy, to live, and to be healthy. So please, human beings, I beg you that you do understand my message and become to know that you are all creation of Allah, regardless of your color, the color of your skin, regardless of your creed. You are all Muslims, or you are all created Muslims and conceived as Muslims by creation. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.